it's one of the most hardest things that we've had to do on this show. So,
Okay.
here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Hard for you, baby, but let's go. Come on, let's go.
We have to judge. We have to judge our defenses.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Hood Report Podcast. We got a segment for you today. High energy, good vibes. We got a good one for you guys. So I hope you're excited, get comfortable, get ready to listen with us because today we're talking about the top 5 NFL defenses in NFL history. So we got a lot to talk about with this subject. We got some debates going on. So you're going to want to stick around. Let them take away and let's get the ball rolling, guys. Who wants to get started?
I'm going to start this off.
Oh, here we go.
Oh my God. I'm going to tell y'all, picking this is one of the most hardest things that we've had to do on this show. So, here we go.
Hard for you, baby, but let's go. Come on, let's go.
We have to judge our defenses on points, turnovers, interceptions, and just flat out fucking heart. Because sometimes it's just a heart factor. Ain't that right, Martin?
Well, this is your thing. You do your thing.
All right.
So if you say a Lions team, we're gonna quit. We're gonna turn this motherfucker off. We're gonna stop.
I bet. Even though the Lions was ranked high some of these years. But okay, here we go. 2009. We're gonna go with the Pittsburgh Steelers, 2009. That's the year. Hey, they went to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Troy Polamalu was always, spectacular.
Okay.
Super Bowl moment. James Harris returned 100 yards to the end zone. That team, heart. All right. Move up to our number 4. Number 4 was the 2002 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Trent Dilfer was their quarterback. We all know Trent Dilfer ain't shit. So for them to win a Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer, God bless. He, that says a lot. We got, that's the Warren Sapp.
Okay.
Only gave up 31. They had 31 interceptions, 10 passing touchdowns, and that was just a hell of a team. Only gave up 252 points that year. So that was my number 4.
That was a good
number
team.
4. That was a good team.
That's good. I can rock with that.
All right. My number 3. We going Legion of Boom, baby. 13-3. 13-3. Super Bowl 48. They won. You remember that Super Bowl, Martin?
Yep.
I know you remember that Super Bowl because they faced the best offense, one of the best offenses in the league. Old Peyton Manning's old science book offense. And guess what they did? Held them motherfuckers to 8 points.
It was in the cold, but go ahead.
The Super Bowl. Oh, you boo-boo. Yeah, okay. But that's my number 3. That's my number 3.
Okay.
We're going with the Legion of Boom. And we have to pick a year. So that would be the year of 2013 because they kicked ass for a few years, but we got to pick them for 2013. My number 2, and we can't forget about my man and with his dance. My man, my man, played for the Ravens. Ray Lewis is gonna be my number 2. That motherfucking defense with him and Tony Siragusa. Tony Siragusa took up 3 motherfucking spots, allowed Ray to come in there and raise havoc on motherfuckers. So that's my number 2 team. My number 1 is gonna have to be an oldie but goodie. Oldie but goodie, we're gonna have to go with them 85 Bears. Richard Dent, Mike Singletary, and the refrigerator William Perry was a motherfucker. That was a great defense back in there. So that's gonna be my number 1. We're gonna go with the 85 Bears. Let
me critique this first. I'm gonna say actually, for the most part, I can't hate on this list. He named a couple of teams. What I would say, the one place where I think he fucked up at it, that Steelers team, hell fuck no, that Steelers team don't belong in the top 5 of all time. That's still at that point, the Steelers team was an offensive team that Big Ben winning the championship and was doing things. And that defense was shit. Larry Fitzgerald and all them fucked over them boys in that Super Bowl. And Big Ben brought him back for the win with a big touchdown to Santonio Holmes in the corner. you might not remember that. But I would say 4 of your teams, I'll say are solid. The order to be a little bit to be desired, but I would say the team's good, but you fucked up with Pittsburgh.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that list was some straight bullshit. Let me tell you about some bullshit. Because first of all, for me, you got to have one of the greatest defensive players on this list of all time, and that's Lawrence motherfucking Taylor. If you get Lawrence Taylor on your fucking list, something ain't right. So if you motherfuckers that's coming next, if y'all ain't got Lawrence Taylor on your list, y'all better change y'all motherfucking list, because Lawrence Taylor better be on that motherfucking list. That's the first thing. The second thing is that Pittsburgh defense. That Pittsburgh defense wasn't shit. Palomino was good. Palomino was good. But that Pittsburgh defense, no. They won with their motherfucking offense, but that Pittsburgh defense was not one of the best of all time. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah. He was more show at that point for Palomino with hair flying around and shit. His hair was getting people's eyes. That's why he stopped people from catching the ball.
Whatever.
Not because he played good
hair commercials and shit. He
got
more hair commercials than anything.
Yeah.
Staying with the Pittsburgh. I don't know about them. All right.
Hey, if you go with an Oakland team on this list, Tweety, we fucking go hang. I'm leaving.
No. My list is solid. I get an A+ on this list. A+.
Come on with it.
I got an honorable mention on my team. It's those 2002 Tampa Bay Bucks.
Okay. Honorable mention
with Derek Brooks.
Okay.
And Warren Sapp. Yeah, and they did beat my Raiders in the Super Bowl.
They didn't make the list.
Yes, sir.
No, they didn't make the list. They didn't make the list.
Your list is fucked already. Go ahead.
Number 5, the 1986 Giants. Okay. That Lawrence Taylor right there. Lawrence Taylor right there.
Okay.
All right.
I respect that.
And I'm picking people. I'm picking the team that beat them Broncos in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
All right. And I got another one for you. Number 4, the 2013 Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, he just said
Legion of Boom.
Oh my God.
He said
what you doing?
Okay. Again, they beat the Broncos in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
That's right, Tweety.
So I'm bringing them out.
Beat the Broncos. Beat their ass in the Super Bowl, Tweety.
And Martin, did you say it was cold? Ain't they from Denver?
It was. But not in the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl shouldn't be playing the cold. That was the only in Super Bowl history that was playing the cold. I'm going to leave it alone.
Denver
Go ahead.
is in the cold. Ain't no excuse.
Yeah.
No. That ain't the only Super Bowl that was played in the cold. That's only the modern day Super Bowl that was played in the cold.
Well, motherfucker, I ain't talking about back in 69 and 70. Bitch, you wasn't even born. I was born.
It's football.
I ain't talking about then. I'm about right now.
Oh, right, baby, shit.
That's what I'm talking about. Number 3, those 2000 Baltimore Ravens, led by Ray Lewis. Them right, and they beat the Giants 34-7 in the Super Bowl. It wasn't the Broncos, but they did beat the Giants in the Super Bowl. And they only totaled 23 points. They only let their opponents get 23 points in that series right there, in that postseason. All right. And then number 2, I got to give it to the Denver Broncos, the 2015 Denver Broncos.
Damn.
Yes.
What
yes,
a
I have
surprise.
to. Because they beat Ben
That's
Roethlisberger's, Tom Brady, and Cam Newton, all 3 quarterbacks.
Oh, Ben was on his way out.
They beat all 3 quarterbacks.
Ben was on his way out
in that postseason.
Get the fuck out of here.
They beat all 3 quarterbacks in that season, in that postseason. You got to give it to them.
I ripped
he
that.
kissing Martin's ass. Go ahead.
Nope, I ripped that. I ripped that. No, it's facts. But
it's
go ahead.
facts.
Who's number 1?
Go ahead, Dwayne.
Everybody know them 1985 Chicago Bears, the Super Bowl Shuffle. Y'all know that. Y'all know that video.
Hey,
y'all know that video, the Super Bowl Shuffle.
We are.
Hey, that had to be one of the most popular motherfuckers in the NFL. Hey, they made a G.I. Joe character of William Perry. That's how bad that motherfucker was. Go Joe, they made motherfucker. That motherfucker's motherfucker.
They beat that team 46-10, the Patriots, in that Super Bowl.
All right, who want to go ahead Tweety's list first?
Yeah, come on with it.
Go ahead.
Come on with it.
I'll say this. How you keep that Tampa Bay team out of your top 5 is a fucking travesty. That Tampa Bay team with Warren Sapp and with Derek Brooks and with Twin and
Who's taking out?
and John Lynch, who's up in the booth now. How you take a team? How you not put that team on your list? I'm gonna show you in a minute who you can take down. It's a travesty and a misjustice. And I'll tell you, Denver's entirely too fucking high.
That's way too fucking high on the list.
They beat all three quarterbacks.
4.
They Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
All right. Hey, look. Go ahead, Martin.
Well, I know I'm not gonna argue the Denver thought because I'm gonna reserve that for later.
Yeah,
but
we know that.
I will reserve it for later. But I do think Tampa Bay should have been on the list. Tampa Bay that year, they was very dominant. I mean, they was number one in pass defense, and they shut down one of the number one offenses in the Super Bowl. Just totally shut them down. But I do think Gruden helped him out a little bit because he was over there the year before. But that's a story for another day. So that's it. Besides that, I don't have to be a problem with your list.
All right,
you ain't taking nobody off.
Hey, look at that here. Put down your motherfucking pencils, America, because here we go. I'm about to break down this football knowledge for y'all like you ain't never seen it and like you would never fucking see it again. Top 5.
I want to see it again.
Top 5.
Let's hear this shit, America.
Of all time. Here we go. Number 5. When you look at the game has evolved. The game is different than it was in the past. So like some goofy motherfuckers on here talked about some 60 teams and all other bullshit. I ain't doing that. I think you have to have healthy respect for those teams. That Pittsburgh team, healthy respect for the Pittsburgh team, but not yours. I'm talking about those 70 Pittsburgh too, with Mean Joe Green, Lambert, and those boys. Now, while they didn't make my list, honorable mention, I'm going to say my number 5 team gave up an average of 18 points per game in the current modern day era. That's phenomenal. They had the Super Bowl MVP was on their defensive squad, followed by DeMarcus Ware and Talib and Chris Harris. They had a plethora of players. So while I would never say they number 1, I will put the 2015 Denver Broncos as number 5 on my list. Now,
that's a fucking stretch.
Moving on. As my brother so eloquently pointed out, you can't have it. I mean, while we're talking teams, he pointed to a player. But that player, when you couple him with Carl Banks, when you couple him with Marshall, Harry Carson, and all of those guys, and you put Lawrence on top of it, change the fucking game. Lawrence had to change the game, change the linebacker position, and it's never been played the same. And countless guys after that try to play the same way. Nobody's ever played to that level. And when you look at their stats, average of 14.8 points per game is what they gave up. And when I look at teams, so I would say this, is while you focus on 1 year wonder, that's what I think more of what the Legion of Boom was. They were more of 1 year wonder. I look at teams that have some longevity. That Denver team that I had in my number 5, 2014, 2016, they were in the top 5 defense in all the major categories. When I look at this New York Giants team, the Giants were a top 5 defense, scoring, yardage, and all that for the stretch of 1985 to 1990. So for me, you got to do it more than 1 year. Anybody get lucky and stop a motherfucker for a season, stop them over multiple seasons if you want to be on my list. Next.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to tell you this. And while Tweety Bird over there may have forgot him on his list, they ain't being forgotten or being left on my list. The motherfucking Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That team, are you kidding me? I mean, it was a plethora of Hall of Famers on that defense. Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, Rondy Barber, John Lynch, Simeon Rice. You had all these guys played in a modern era day of football in 2002. That was the modern day football where they changed the rules. And I would tell you, the most phenomenal moment that I can think of with them, 2 things is what I would say. Number 1 thing is they were winning 11, 12, and 13 games with fucking Sean King as a quarterback and a slight bit of Trent Dilfer, number 1. Number 2 thing is against probably the modern day, one of the greatest offenses of all time with Marshall Faulk, Isaac King, you had Torrey Holt, you had Isaac Bruce, you had Kurt Warner quarterback. that team, which was unstoppable, greatest show on turf, they held that team. They lost the game, but the statement they made about hitting a motherfucker in the mouth and see if they want to get back the next play will live on forever. They held that team to an 11-6 game. They lost 11-6 on a touchdown in the fourth quarter. After they had held tight all game, they finally relented. But the defensive performance and what I walked away with is they were my Super Bowl champion that night when I watched that game. And I would tell you, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 2002, out cold. So number 3 on the list. Number 2 on the list. This team had set the record for the best run defense of a team during the modern day in football. Best run defense. Didn't allow a 100-yard rusher all season long. They had probably one of the most recognizable players that followed in the footsteps at the middle linebacker position. So LT defined the outside linebacker, right? The rushing linebacker as we know it now that would line up in three-point stance and rush the quarterback. Well, the guy that defined the middle linebacker is who? Fucking Ray Lewis. I love Ray Lewis. I love his heart. I love his passion. Hey, I don't believe that bullshit about on that Super Bowl night when they were trying to blame that shit on him. I'm down with Ray. I think Ray was right. But you take Ray Lewis, you put him with Rod Woodson, Paul Faber on the other side. You got Tony Siragusa, as my cousin said, eat up the middle. That defense was unstoppable. You got Peter Bowery rushing on the end. That Baltimore team was incredible. And one, to my cousin Quentin's point, he right didn't hit it hard enough. But I'm going to hit this hard. Won a fucking Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer at quarterback, averaging only 12 points a game is what they averaged with Trent Dilfer at quarterback, and won a Super Bowl. Like, if your defense is doing it, I know we're going to hear this, somebody have to be talking about what they did and without a defense and the offense and all that. They had a Hall of Fame quarterback behind the center, though. But anyway, number 2, the 2000 Baltimore Ravens is the second best defense of all time. Numero uno. I think it goes without saying. It's almost a foregone fucking conclusion when I do this. Oh, but let me go back to the Baltimore Ravens. They gave up an average of 10.3 points per game, too. Incredible. Mm-hmm. And then give up 100-yard rush all year. But you got to be exceptional to bypass those type of statistics on defense and that kind of effort and that type of talent. And this next team, my number 1 team, they did that. And you know, the intensity they brought to the game, you can see it through the eyes when they would show it on Sunday of one motherfucking man. Mike Singletary, baby. Mike Singletary, you had Will Marshall, you had Richard Dent, you had Dan Hampton, you had Gary Fensick, you had Dave Durson, you had that team incredible. And I will tell you, contrary to whatever the stats, they gave it 12 points a game, 258 yards per game. They were good over the course of the 3 seasons from the point of which they won Super Bowl, 84 through 86. They were the most dominant defense in the league, 64 sacks. And I will tell you, you watch countless games where they was knocking motherfuckers out. They probably have the record for the most quarterbacks knocked out in the entire season, but the most devastating road to a Super Bowl in the history of teams, meaning what they did the playoffs.
Absolutely.
They did the playoffs. Yeah. The most devastating road into the playoffs and then win the Super Bowl ever was that Chicago Bears team. So I'll tell you, hands down, and I didn't even mention the refrigerator man, hands down, I would tell you this, the greatest defense that with these 2 eyes, that have watched a lot of fucking football over the years ever seen, the Chicago motherfucking Bears, 1985, baby. Let's get it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Let me go right into this bullshit.
Oh, you want to jump first?
Yeah. I'm jumping like a motherfucker.
Let's go.
Because you goofy motherfuckers, y'all always talking about these Chicago Bears, this and that, but it's about the fucking competition you played too. It's about the competition you played too. Now, for all you Chicago Bear motherfuckers, 85, I'm not saying they wasn't good, but it's got to be something about the competition you played too. So you talking about how devastating they was, they was just so devastating, and they were devastating. But you got to put into play the competition they played. And I'm not gonna blow all my shit away right now, but just keep
we know where you're going
about the competition that they played. Go ahead. Anybody want to comment on that bullshit that he just talked about?
Hey,
absolutely.
Motherfucker, your shit already scripted. We know where you going already, bro.
I love his list. I love the list. You know, I love the. I love it all. I love the Ravens being the second best. That is my favorite pick of Rodney's at all because I have them there too. And you cannot overlook the Ravens. That 2000 defense, out of control, must see TV. You know, I'm totally agreements with the Bears. 85. You know, like he named off. You know, Mike Singletary. You know, he didn't even mention the William. You know, Perry guy. You know, it's out of control. So I really like his list. Not talking about Lawrence Taylor. He had Lawrence Taylor in there. You know, Lawrence Taylor. You know, he was. You know, I know he was doing. You know, some little fun things. But you know, he changed people's career. Just ask Mr. Theismann.
Lawrence had fun. Lawrence had fun along the way, baby. Lawrence had fun along the way.
Yeah. But he also he changed people's careers too. You know, he put Joe Theismann in with a microphone. You know, so you know he's a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, cuz. When you said must see TV, were you talking about me or were you talking about them Bears? I was talking about Ray Lewis. Oh, Ray Lewis. Okay. I was talking about Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis is must see TV. Hey, don't get it motherfucking twisted. I must see TV, America. Tune in. You subscribe and you can see Ride.
Well, I don't know how you left off
the Legend of Boom.
I don't know how you left off Legend of Boom off that defense of all time.
You're overrated. Top 10, overrated.
2013 Legion of Boom, they only had 4 rushing touchdowns that whole season. Only allowed 4 rushing touchdowns the whole season.
Yeah.
Only gave up 14 points a game.
And it was consistent seasons of it.
Tweety.
Overrated. One season. They were one hit wonder.
No, that was 2012 to 2015. They had a good run.
One thing then one of the things you said that was fucked up, and it didn't make no motherfucking sense. Because you mentioned about that St. Louis game, you said, but that wasn't the year they won the Super Bowl. See, I don't
know about that. I'm talking about the year.
It wasn't. But you're talking about you're talking about another year, and we're just fine. We're just fine. But that demon that stopped St. Louis, they didn't win the Super Bowl. But okay.
Yeah, I got that. They absolutely no offense. I don't think you have to win the Super Bowl to be a great fucking defense. I'm telling you that day, if you really do football, fucking football, that day you went home and you knew who the champion was. That motherfucker champion.
You gotta have a great defense to win.
Bullshit.
No.
Hey, look, and that's why the Raiders didn't win the Super Bowl, because y'all ain't had no great defense. Y'all ain't had shit.
You're right. We ain't have a great defense. Right. We don't have a great defense.
Or a great running back. Or a great receiver. Or
not yet. Not yet. It's coming.
Okay, look.
Enough
of the bullshit. Enough of the bullshit.
Okay.
Now let's get down to these motherfucking facts. Because y'all motherfuckers, it's time to get down to motherfucking facts. It's time to get motherfucking facts. It's time, look. First of all, before I even start, I always get my little summary before I get started. And I'm gonna tell y'all once again. Look, it's about the defense, right? And it's about if they went on Super Bowl, they shouldn't be on no motherfucking list. Now, everybody, I think everybody on the list did that, which is fine, and that's good. But if they didn't dominate the game and win the Super Bowl, it's a little bit different. Now, let me go on number 5. I'm going to put the Chicago Bears 85 defense at number 5.
Are you fucking...
Yes. I'm putting them 85. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why, you goofy motherfucker.
You know what?
Let me tell you why. Because the reason why they number 5 is because the competition they played. If anybody can tell me who they played in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl that did anything, then come talk to me. Now, that's my list. And goddamn Chicago Bears 85. I'm gonna look. They were dominating with that 46 blitz defense. They were dominating, but all I'm saying is the competition, it wasn't there. And anybody tell me it was there, come talk to me. Send me something. They at number 5. What would y'all
America, we look for a new heartbeat starting tomorrow. We're gonna have ads in the paper.
Okay. 85 Bears, number 5, and they maybe have they got there because, like I said, the competition they ain't play nobody. At number 4, I'm going to put the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 2002. They were 8. They were good. I mean, they were great. They were great. I mean, number one pass defense. I mean, and the main thing why I put them in number 4 is they whooped the Raiders' ass in the Super Bowl. I love that shit. I mean, they whooped their ass. I mean, goddamn, they had them hoes in there crying like a motherfucker. But look, the Raiders had one of the best offenses. They did out of one that year. They had one of the best offenses. But Tampa Bay shut that bullshit down. I love that shit. So that's why they're number 4.
Group was so dumb. He called the same play where Tampa Bay. Hey, they throwing it over to Jerry. Mo was picking the shit out for a touchdown.
Dumb as hell. Yeah. The Raiders were dumb as hell. But I love that Super Bowl. I love that Super Bowl. Look, they'll give them 12 points a game. They deserve to be on this list, no doubt. Warren Sapp and the boys, they took care of business. At number 3, I'm going with them New York Giants, 1986. I mean, goddamn. I mean, I got to put, if we're talking about defenses, I got to put, which I consider and which most consider the best defensive player of all time, and Lawrence Taylor on this list. And that defense was outstanding. 14 points a game. Lawrence Taylor, I'm not sure if he won defensive player that year. Defensive player that year. But you know what he won? He won most valuable player of the whole fucking league. This motherfucker Lawrence Taylor was dominating. 20 sacks. Come on. The best defensive player ever. I really believe that. Let's roll with that.
Hands down.
At number two, I'm gonna roll with Baltimore Ravens in 2000. I mean, that defense was vicious. I mean, Ray Lewis and them boys, what they did, and they were good against the run. They were good against the pass. Hey, you got to put them at number 2. But I'm tired about talking about all the other teams. But God damn it, we all know who number 1 was. Let me just break this shit down for y'all. In 2015, the goddamn Bronco defense, what they did in that era. So let me just break this shit down real quick. I got a couple of minutes here.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. We're getting
I'm gonna wrap this shit up real quick. Versus the competition that they played against in a passing era, what they did and who they played in the playoffs, especially. They played the Pittsburgh Steelers, which was one of the best offenses in the league. They beat the GOAT, all y'all GOATs. They beat him. Yeah, they beat him. And in the Super Bowl, they played the MVP of the league, a team that averaged 40 points in the playoffs. They held them to 10 points. And all this said, with one of the worst offenses in the league. The Denver Broncos is the best goddamn defense. It ain't even close. Y'all better stop this shit. Let's go.
I thought you didn't smoke. I don't know what the fuck is going on here because that's crazy.
So what I'm
Tell me what's crazy. I said facts. Tell me what's crazy.
Well, any last remarks? We're gonna wrap.
If you notice, America, if you go back to our other podcast, there's a fucking pattern. Anything Denver, this motherfucker gonna have at the top. So anything Denver for him, anything Lakers or West Coast for the other guy in the other corner, and anything Detroit for him. I'm the only one that is not biased and looks at things objectively. But this bullshit that he just said with Denver, get the fuck out of here.
Can I ask one question?
Can I ask one question? This team is better than the Ravens defense.
I want to see in the comments, America. Put in the comments what you think about Denver being the best defense team of all time.
All right, guys. Okay. Let's finish this up here. We are running out of time. We might have to expand on this soon in the near future because obviously there's a lot of debates going on in the discussion for today, but we just want to say thank you guys so much for listening to this week's discussion. As always, this is the Hood Report podcast and you heard it here first. So if we got to expand on this, let us know in the comments if you like this segment. What do you think about today's topics? And should we do another little debate just like this one? Let us know down below. Hit that like, comment, and subscribe button, and we will see you in our next one. Thank you so much, guys.
Peace out.
Bears, number 5.
Bronco Nation, baby.
You gotta be
85 Bears.
Detroit.
That's right.
The fuck.